Hi there, welcome to Hevo. In this video, we'll look at Change Data Capture or CDC query mode, what it is, when it works well, and when you should avoid using it. Let's start with what CDC actually means. CDC query mode captures both new rows and updates to existing rows. If data in your table can change after a row is inserted, and you want those changes reflected later, CDC is built for exactly that. You can think of CDC as combining two ideas. One column helps Hevo detect new rows. Another column helps Hevo detect updated rows. Together, these allow Hevo to move forward safely without missing changes or rereading old data. When you configure CDC query mode, you'll see three key inputs in the UI. First is the incrementing column name. This is a numeric column, like an ID, that always increases for new rows. Hevo uses it to track how far it has already read. After each run, Hevo stores the highest value it has ingested. On the next run, it only looks for rows with the higher values. This is why the column must be numeric and consistently increasing. If a value jumps backward or isn't comparable with the previous values, Hevo can't reliably detect new records, and ingestion can fail. Next is the timestamp column name. This column indicates when a row was last modified. Hevo uses it to find rows that were already ingested earlier but changed later. Finally, there's timestamp column delay. This lets you intentionally lag ingestion by a fixed amount of time. Behind the scenes, Hevo subtracts this delay from the current time before querying the table. That way, it avoids pulling in rows that might still be mid-update. So what happens during ingestion? On every scheduled run, Hevo queries the table for rows with a newer update timestamp, or rows with the same timestamp but a higher ID, and rows with a null timestamp that still have a new ID. Let's walk through a quick example. Imagine your table has two rows. Hevo ingests both and stores the latest ID and timestamp internally. Later, one of those rows is updated, and a brand new row is added. On the next run, Hevo picks up the updated row because its timestamp changed. It picks up the new row because its ID is higher. Then, Hevo updates the last stored ID and moves forward. That brings us to event usage. In Hevo, every row change that CDC picks up becomes an event. An insert is one event. An update is another event, even if it's the same row. You only pay the cost of processing actual changes, not rereading the entire table. That's what makes CDC both accurate and efficient. To learn more or explore other features in Hevo, visit docs.hevodata.com. Thanks for watching.